If this is a busy time of year for you and you always find yourself searching for quick and easy but delicious dinner recipes, I've got you covered. Today I'm going to show you 6 recipes that are really easy. My family loves them and I think you will too. Welcome back. If you are new, my name is Christine. I'm going to take you back and show you a week's worth of meals that I typically make during busy times, but they're super easy and super delicious. Today I made this Mexican casserole. As you can see, I already tried a piece of it. It's absolutely delicious. Come with me. Let's go. I will include all of these recipes down below in the description box, and I will also include timestamps. So if you just want to go to the specific recipe, you can click on it and it'll take you right there. For the Mexican casserole, I just brown up a pound of ground beef. I add in onions, garlic, some taco seasoning, chili powder, and cumin. I get that all browned up. And then I add in 2 cans of rotel. Use whatever kind of rotel you like. I used one mild and one original. I couldn't find the one that had the lime in it, so I end up adding my own lime zest and lime juice. Give that a little stir, and then I add in some Colby Jack cheese. Stir in the cheese, and then I set this aside, and I start making the cornbread topping. It's so simple. It's just a couple boxes of Jiffy cornbread muffin mix, and I add in some eggs, sour cream, and then a can of drained corn, and I just get that all mixed together. I try to fold it in so I don't overmix it, and then just pour your mixture into a casserole dish. I then sprinkle on a small can of diced chilies, a bunch of cheddar cheese, and then I dollop that cornbread muffin mixture over the top. I kind of smooth it out a little bit as best I can. I bake it at 375 according to the directions on the back of the box of the muffin mix. And there you have it. So delicious. This was a big hit, and this provides plenty of leftovers for lunches or another dinner throughout the week as well. I love the textures of this dish as well as the combination of the spicy Mexican flavors paired with the sweet cornbread topping. It's just perfect. Next up, this chicken recipe. This is my favorite stir-fry recipe of all time. And not to pat myself on my back, but I make this so much that I do feel like I have perfected this and I have it down to a science. The secret to making this easy is to make this chicken ahead of time and keep it in your freezer. So while this chicken is cooking, let me take it back and show you how to do this, and this will make your life so much easier. I combine soy sauce, oil, brown sugar, Korean red chili powder, chili crisp, and that jar I just showed you is my favorite brand. I then add in a ton of fresh garlic, some fresh grated ginger, and I just keep my ginger in the freezer, and it makes this step super easy. A little bit of sesame oil and some hot honey. Get that all really well combined together. It'll take a minute. Once I do this, I separate out a little bit of this marinade mixture into another container, as you'll see me doing here. And I then add a little bit of cornstarch. And then you could freeze this as well or keep it in your refrigerator, but that way you have your stir-fry sauce already made and ready to go. I use boneless, skinless chicken thighs, but use whatever kind of cuts of chicken you like. And then just simply make up a bunch of bags. You can do as many as you want at a time. Stick them in your freezer, and then you have these meals ready to go. And this makes your life so much easier. Okay, we are back to our stir fry. I just get that chicken cooked up on really high heat so you get some crispy bits on the ends, and once that is done, I set it aside and I add in a bunch of vegetables. I used carrots, green onions, and red pepper, but use whatever you have on hand and whatever you like. I stir-fried the vegetables for about a minute or so, added the chicken back in along with that sauce that we made. Give it all a final stir, let that sauce thicken up a tad, and there you have it. Dinner is done. This is one of my favorite meals. With the garlic and the ginger, it's sweet and spicy. I served it alongside cut up celery, cucumbers, and ranch dressing. It's a new day. We are making Philly steak and cheese sandwiches. Here are some of the ingredients that I use for this recipe. Super simple. And this one, again, is another winner and a family favorite. To get started, I add butter and oil to a hot pan along with onions, green bell pepper, and red bell pepper. I saute that up. I add in some salt and pepper. And then when it gets pretty much cooked to my desired liking anyways, I remove those and add in a little bit more butter and a little bit more oil. And then I add in a whole package of shaved beef. I'm not sure what the weight is on this package, but I get it from Kroger. And I add salt and pepper to this as well. And then I brown it up until it kind of looks like this, and until it is pretty much cooked through, but not quite all the way. I then add in a bunch of garlic, a bunch of Italian seasoning, some Worcestershire sauce, or however the heck you say that. And then I add in beef stock, and all the veggies go back in. And then I add in provolone cheese to the top of this, a whole package of it. I cover it until the cheese is melted. I toast up some buns. I add in a little bit more cheese. This time I use Swiss. And then I pile up that Philly steak and cheese mixture. And oh my goodness, you guys. I'm saying it about every recipe, but this is a 10 out of 10. I serve this up again with veggies and ranch dressing. And everyone in my family loves this meal. Recipe number 4. These are my crispy oven-baked chicken wings. This is probably the easiest recipe of them all. Add your chicken wings to a bowl and make sure that they're nice and dry. I season them with salt, pepper, garlic powder, onion powder, paprika, Kuso's hot honey, I can link that down below, and baking powder. Not to be confused with baking soda, but this is what makes your chicken wings nice and crispy. Get that all really well combined. Make sure all that seasoning is really coating that chicken. I then cover this and stick it in my refrigerator for a few hours. If you don't have that much time, that's okay. Just do 30 minutes or whatever time you can spare. I then spread them on a cookie sheet with parchment paper and bake them at 300 degrees for 20 minutes. And then here's the key. Crank up your oven to 425 and bake them for another 20 minutes. At the end, I drizzle on some hot honey, and you can serve this alongside rice or French fries and a nice tossed salad. It's a super easy and delicious weeknight dinner. It's also great game day food. Next up, we have BLT Wraps, another fresh, crunchy dinner. I cook up a bunch of bacon. This is a whole pound. In addition to lettuce and tomato, I also use cucumbers and red onion. This is Ollie, my border doodle. He absolutely loves cucumbers. And look at his cute sweater. He's 13. Anyways, I combine all of those veggies into a bowl, and then I doctor up my ranch dressing, which you can see I've been using all week. But to the ranch dressing, I add in some fresh garlic, and I have some basil. I have a plant on my windowsill, so I just pick some basil, chop that up, and throw that in there. And that all gets tossed together. It's super easy, but it's so fresh and so crunchy. You guys are gonna love this one. I just toast up my wraps in a little bit of butter and get them assembled. If you want to bulk this recipe up, you could make some rice to go with it, or a potato. I also think some sweet potato fries would be really good with this. This is another family favorite. Easy, simple, so yummy. Look at this. Okay, last but certainly not least, this is probably my husband's very favorite beef stew. I just cut up a chuck roast and season it with salt and pepper. I also take some all-purpose flour, season that up with salt and pepper, seasoned salt, onion powder, garlic powder. I get the beef all coated in that flour mixture into a hot pan. I add butter and oil, and then I fry up the beef until it's nice and golden brown. Once I get all the beef pieces fried up, I remove them from the pan. I add in some onions, get those nice and sauteed, and that gets all the bits up off the bottom. I add the beef back in, a bunch of chopped up carrots, potatoes, mushrooms. I chopped up some fresh thyme and threw that in along with a bunch of garlic. And then I add in chicken bone broth along with beef stock. I like to combine both of these for this recipe. I then add in some mushroom seasoning. I can link that down below. I then just add enough water to cover everything. I pop a lid on it and let it go low and slow for a couple hours. I also add in some more Worcestershire sauce and ketchup. If you don't want to add ketchup, you could just skip this entirely or add in maybe a little bit of tomato paste. After 2.5 hours, this is what it is looking like. I then add in equal parts cornstarch and water, and this makes a beautiful gravy and it thickens up really nicely. I serve mine over jasmine rice, but you could also serve it over noodles or mashed potatoes. I just want to say thanks for hanging out with me in my kitchen today. I really appreciate it. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps my channel. And if you did, I can also pop a couple more videos right here for you to check out between now and my next upload. Please subscribe to my channel. It's free. Can't wait to see you next time.